大家好，我是四建国，我在内蒙古自治区 Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region Hulunbuir, and I'm standing outside Hulunbuir train station because today I'm taking a train. That's right, I love travelling by rail in China. I try to take the high-speed train as often as I can. I've been on Sichuan Liangshan's Xiaonanshe, the slow train. I've recently been on the Lalin Tielu in Tibet, and today I'm taking another train to my next destination, which is Genghe. And the name of the route that I'm going to be travelling along is known as the Caoyuan Senlin Zhuti Luyou Lieche, which literally translates to the Grassland Forest Tourism Train. It's one of China's first high-end domestic tourism trains, and it runs through the beautiful Hulunbuir prairie, and I cannot wait. So let's go. I love travelling by rail in China. I think there's two main reasons. Number one, it's so efficient, especially compared to trains in my country. If you've been on a train in the UK, you'll know what I mean. Number two, you just get to see so much more of the country when you travel by rail. So that's where we're going. 海拉尔去根河. It's the train pulling into the station now. The name of this train is Hulunbuir Luyou Lieche. Oh, I love that sound, love that sound. So as you can see, red train. It's a very special colour of this route. That's great. So I'm going to be getting on this, and we're going to be travelling through the grasslands and the forest scenery of the Hulunbuir prairie. Oh, cannot wait. So they've just linked the engine to the train. I'm going to get on the train shortly, but what is so special about this train? Well, this train, Hulunbuir Hao, is made from 16 carriages of 中国铁路25级新客车. That's China Railway's 25G rolling stock. Now that's the same kind of train as China's Lupi or green-skinned slow trains. So those were ubiquitous in the past. Many of those have been replaced by high-speed trains. There are still quite a few slow trains running across China, but many have been replaced. But this is the same kind of train. However, as you can see, it's red, and inside it's very different. So let's get on and find out. Right, so we're on Hulunbuir Hao. There are no other guests getting on at this station. However, their luggage has boarded the train, and then they will be getting on later on in the afternoon. And that gives me a chance to take a quick look around the train before they get on. And then when I get to Genghe, I'll get off and they'll stay on. As you can see, looks very different from the usual trains that you see in China. So I've been sitting, just staring at the beautiful countryside outside, the rolling hills, rolling grasslands. But right now, I'm going to go check out one of the rooms. First I need to find an empty one. So there are some guests on board now. So we're just looking for a room that doesn't have any guests in it. Okay, so here's an empty room. There's no one living in this, so I'll have a quick look. Here we go. That is quite nice, isn't it? That makes a difference from Lupi slow trains, very different. And 2 beds, got a bathroom over there. You can lie down, watch TV, or just watch the beautiful countryside. Oh yeah, I could get used to this. Oh, all right. Oh, free bag. Oh, right. So I don't actually have a cabin on the train today. I'm just taking a small journey along, so I'm just going to have to find a chair to sit down on until I get to Genghe. So the train will stop off at particular beauty spots, and then the passengers can get off to enjoy the scenery of Hulunbuir. I'm not going to be doing that, of course. I'm just going to Genghe. So, as I hope you've already seen from my videos so far, Hulunbuir is a beautiful destination. It's got grasslands, lakes, rivers, forests, beautiful villages, everything that we've seen on this train journey. And in the summer months, domestic tourists flock here. In winter, it's quite cold. I've heard that the place where we're going to, Genghe, they turn their central heating on in September, which is fairly early. Plus, a lot of Hulunbuir, very rural, very remote, hard to get to. So during winter, when it's so cold, there are far less tourists. However, this train has opened up a new pattern of tourism, allowing for travel through all seasons. That benefits the places where the train stops off, because the tourists will get off the train and they'll increase the amount of tourism revenue in those locations during the off-season, which is a good thing. So this very unique train, I've never been on a train quite like this in China. Instead of assigned seats, there are 22 soft sleeper cabins. And they've got bathrooms and beds. And then there's an entertainment carriage, which I'm in right now. I go on the KTV. After I've entertained everyone, I can go into the dining carriage and have some food. Oh, 谢谢. Wow, this is my first time having a meal like this on the train. Usually I just eat fan bian mian. Hulunbuir 羊肉。牛肉是吗？好吃啊，好吃啊。So it's basically a bit like a moving hotel through the beautiful Hulunbuir natural scenery, which reminds me of British countryside. If you want to travel on a train like this, the ticket is not cheap. So how does Hulunbuir compare to similar high-end trains in different countries? Well, it's different. If you think about the Orient Express services in Europe and Southeast Asia, there is a clear difference. But those services, they've been running for many years, they're very well established, and this is fairly new. It's filling a gap in the market for high-end rail travel. So, if you like travelling with extra comfort and extra service, then you are going to enjoy travelling on trains like this. I personally travel on trains for the view, and Hulunbuir is full of amazing scenery to view on a long train ride. But trains like this are also an indicator of how popular rural tourism is becoming. And I can vouch for how good rural tourism in China is because I love it. I just love sitting out a window and watching the world go by. That's my trip come to an end. It's been about 8.5 hours in total. I've arrived in Genghe, it's cold. It's about 9 degrees. I did ask if they had a spare cabin. They don't.